Okay students, now let us see another concept, common root for two quadratic equations. For example, you take the equation x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0 whose roots are 2 comma 3, whereas x square is equal x square minus 6x plus 8 equal to 0 has roots 2 comma 4. Now, for these two equations there is a common root called 2. So, if one root is common for two equations, what is the condition satisfied by their coefficients we are going to see now. Even you can see this equation 2x square minus 10x plus 12 equal to 0 which has roots 2 comma 3, which has same as the first equation I have multiplied with 2. We have discussed this case where two quadratic equations have both the roots common. In that case, the condition we discussed was a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. This is a clear case. Now, we are going to highlight the case where two quadratic equations have one root common. See, a necessary and sufficient condition for the two quadratic equations a1x square plus b1x plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x square plus b2x plus c2 equal to 0 to have a common root is the condition c1a2 minus c2a1 whole square is equal to a1b2 minus a2b1 into b1c2 minus b2c1. So, let us try to prove this. First, let us see the necessary case, necessary part. That means, suppose these two quadratic equations have a common root, say alpha. I am going to prove that this condition is necessary. If they have a common root alpha, I can take like a1 alpha square plus b1 alpha plus c1 equal to 0, equation 1. Because alpha is a root of first equation, we get this. Even alpha is a root of second equation, so we get a2 alpha square plus b2 alpha plus c2 equal to 0. This is condition 2. Now, what I do is I multiply first equation with b2 and second equation with b1 to eliminate the second term alpha. That is, this becomes b2a1 alpha square plus b1 b2 alpha plus c1 b2 equal to 0. Similarly, you multiply this with b1, b1 a2 alpha square plus b1 b2 alpha plus b1 c2 is equal to 0. The same equations I have written here by multiplying this with b2 and this with b1. Now, subtract one from the other to eliminate this term. So, you will get alpha square as b1 c2 minus b2 c1 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Similarly, now we can eliminate the first term. You multiply first equation with a2, second equation with a1, then subtract, then alpha square term will be eliminated. You will get alpha as c1 a2 minus c2 a1 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So, to get a condition to eliminate alpha, its square is going to be this, that is c1 a2 minus c2 a1 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1 whole square is equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. This is the condition we get. Now, as the denominator here square is there, if you cancel 1, we will get C1A2 minus C2A1 whole square is equal to A1B2 minus A2B1 is multiplied by B1C2 minus B2C1, and hence we arrive this conclusion. So, this is necessary. If two quadratic equations have a common root called alpha, then the coefficient must satisfy this condition. Now, let us see the sufficiency part, that is, for these two quadratic equations, suppose this condition is satisfied, the coefficient satisfy this condition, we need to prove that there exists some common root to both the equations, right. Suppose I have taken these two quadratic equations, this condition is satisfied. I am going to prove this in two cases. Case 1 is, you suppose A1B2 minus A2B1 is 0, which means that we have A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. Now, if this is 0, automatically LHS will also become 0, which means that A1 by A2 is equal to C1 by C2. So, this is also equal to C1 by C2, and hence we know that this yields these two quadratic equations will have both the roots common. That means they have at least one root common to them, and hence it is proved in this case. Now, let us take up case 2, where A1B2 minus A2B1 not equal to 0. In this case, choose a real number alpha as C1A2 minus C2A1 by A1B2 minus A2B1. As the denominator is not equal to 0, it is some real number. Now, for this real number, you just compute A1 alpha square plus B1 alpha plus C1. You compute, just substitute A1 into C1A2 minus C2A1 by A1B2 minus A2B1 whole square plus B1 into C1A2 minus C2A1 by A1B2 minus A2B1 plus C1. You just observe that it will be 0. In the same way, for the same alpha you consider A2 alpha square plus B2 alpha plus C2, you will observe that it will be 0. From this you can say that these two equations have a common root called alpha, and hence in total for these two quadratic equations, a necessary and sufficient condition to have a common root is this one. So, this is to be remembered. Now, I will suggest a memory technique, a simple procedure to remember this particular formula. Suppose these are the two quadratic equations given. Suppose given that they have a common root called alpha, then you just try to write first coefficients of x like b1, b2, then constants c1, c2, x square coefficients a1, a2, and repeat the first one b1, b2. You see, I have written x coefficients, constants, x square coefficient, and repeat the first one. Now, I think you know how to find determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. This is first det. You try to write like b1 c2 minus b2 c1, like we write AD minus BC for a 2 by 2 matrix. I have written this det by second det. This is C1 A2 minus C2 A1, which is again equal to same second det C1 A2 minus C2 A1 by the third det, which is A1 B2 minus A2 B1, and name it as alpha. If you just remember it, this is nothing but that condition, its square is equal to this into this. Moreover, we know that this is the common root alpha. You try to apply the procedure in this format. You see, I have noted coefficients of x, constants, x square, and repeated the first. Now, first det by second debt is equal to second debt by third debt. If you apply like this, definitely you will take little time to answer to apply the condition. Now let us see this problem. If the equation x square plus 4ax plus 3 equal to 0 and 2x square plus 3ax minus 9 equal to 0 have a common root, then find the value of the unknown a and the common roots. Right. The given equations are 2x square plus 3ax minus 9 equal to 0 and x square plus 4ax plus 3 equal to 0. Right. To apply the condition for common root, I just note the coefficients of x first, 3a, 4a, then minus 9, 3, then 2, 1 and repeat the first 3a, 4a. Now the condition is alpha is equal to, the common root alpha is equal to this determinant AD, multiply these two, 9a minus BC minus 36a. So, will become plus 36a by second debt, that is minus 9 minus 6 AD minus BC, which is equal to, the same should be written here, minus 9 minus 6 by this debt, which is 8a minus 3a, 8a minus 3a. The technique is first debt by second is equal to second by third, which also gives the common root. So, which is, this is 45a by minus 15, which is equal to minus 15 by, you can say 5a, which is equal to minus 3a is equal to minus 3 by a. Since these two are equal, we can say, we can cancel minus, you can say that a square is equal to 1 and hence a value is going to be plus or minus 1. Even if a is plus or minus 1, the common root alpha is 3a or 3 by a, which is plus or minus 3. In this way, we can easily find the common root as well as the unknown which is given in two equations having a common root. Now, you see this question, if the quadratic equation x square minus 6x plus 5 equal to 0 and x square minus 12x plus p equal to 0 have a common root, then find p. Yes, given two equations saying that they have a common root, unknown p is given, we need to find p. For that, you consider the equation x square minus 6x plus 5 equal to 0, x square minus 12x plus p equal to 0. Now, first x coefficients minus 6 minus 12, then constants 5 p, then x square coefficients 1 1 and then you can write like first one minus 6 minus 12. Now, for the common root I take this is equal to minus 6p then plus 60 by 5 minus p, which is also equal to again the same debt 5 minus p by minus 12 plus 6, which is minus 6, and which gives 5 minus p whole square is equal to minus 6 into minus 6p plus 60, and after simplification we get p square minus 10p plus 25 is equal to, this is 36p minus 360. Now, after alignment you will get like p square minus 46p plus 385 equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation in p. We can solve it by observation or by factorization method or by applying the formula, we can find the p values to be 11 comma 35. This is the one. This is, we can say, method 1. Even you can also have an aliter, that is another method also you can do without applying this. Suppose both the equations have a common root, then let it be alpha. So, for the first equation it becomes alpha square minus 6 alpha plus 5 equal to 0, then alpha square minus 12 alpha plus p equal to 0. From this I subtract, so that this gets cancelled. 6 alpha is equal to p minus 5. So, alpha is equal to p minus 5 by 6. Now, alpha is a root of first equation or second equation, then you substitute in this, that is as alpha square minus 6 alpha plus 5 equal to 0 is there. You can observe that you substitute p minus 5 by 6 whole square minus 6 into p minus 5 by 6 plus 5 equal to 0, which yields to the same equation p square minus 46p plus 385 equal to 0, and hence p is equal to 11 comma 35. This is second one. You see, I have done the actual routine procedure. Let alpha be the common root. I have substituted in both the equations, subtracted, I got the value of alpha. Now, this alpha can be substituted either in the first condition or second condition to find p. I can also give another method. You see, for the first equation, another aliter. For the first equation, x square minus 6x plus 5 equal to 0, the roots are 1 comma 5. Now, if they have a common root, the common root can be either 1 or 5. If 1 is the common root, you substitute 1 in the second equation, you will get 1 minus 12 plus p equal to 0. So, p is equal to 11. If 5 is the common root, that is 25 minus 60 plus p equal to 0 implies p is equal to 35. So, you can find the value of p in any of the three methods. You see this question, if the quadratic equations ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 and bx square plus cx plus a equal to 0 have a common root, then prove that a cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 3abc. It is a routine question, like these are the two equations given, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, as well bx square plus cx plus a equal to 0. Given that they have a common root, let me apply the condition for common root. First I write x coefficients, then constants, then x square coefficients, then repeat the first. Now, to get, as they have a common root, first det, that is ab minus c square by second det bc minus a square is equal to, even second det mean bc minus a square by third det ac minus b square, ac minus b square. Now, you just cross multiply, bc minus a square whole square is equal to ab minus c square into ac minus b square. Now, if you just square b square c square plus a power 4 minus 2a square bc is equal to a square bc minus ab cube minus ac cube plus b square c square. You can observe that b square c square can be cancelled. Now, you see, you just rearrange the terms. We arrange like a power 4 plus ab cube plus ac cube is equal to, you see, a square bc 2a square bc, which is 3a square bc. Since a not equal to 0, you can cancel a on both sides, you will get that a cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 3abc. This is simple. Two quadratic equations are given, they have given that they have a common root. I have just applied the condition, algebraic simplification, I arrived at the conclusion. It's a direct problem. Now, let us see some simple observations. For the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where abc are real numbers, first case, suppose b is equal to 0 and a, c are other than 0. In this case, we call the equation as proper quadratic equation. For example, we can say 3x square minus 8 is equal to 0, where AC are not equal to 0, B is going to be 0. In this case, one can say that sum of the roots alpha plus beta is minus b by a, which is 0. And hence we can say that alpha is equal to minus beta. If alpha beta are real, one can say that the roots will have same magnitude with opposite sign and hence they have same absolute value. If alpha beta are complex, they will be like, if one is p plus iq, other would be minus p minus iq. Even in this case also, they will have the same absolute value, that is root of p square plus q square. That is observation number 1. And hence we can say that in this case the roots will have same absolute value. Then second case, suppose for a quadratic equation a is equal to c, which is not equal to 0, like x square plus 7x plus 1 equal to 0. X square coefficient is 1 as well as constant is 1. In this case, we observe that product of the roots alpha beta, which is c by a, is 1. Moreover, no root is 0 because c is not equal to 0. In this case, one can say that alpha is 1 by beta. That means the roots are reciprocal to each other. So, we can say that in this case, when the roots will be reciprocal to each other. Case, see point number 3, if A and C are such that their product is negative, that means AC have opposite sign. In this case, definitely B square minus 4AC would be positive and hence the roots will be real. Both the roots will be real. Not only that, product of the roots alpha beta, which is c by a, is also negative. That means one root must be positive and other root must be negative. So, we conclude that for a quadratic equation a and c have opposite signs, then the equation will have one root positive and other root to be negative, other root is negative. Like you see 3x square plus 7x minus 8 equal to 0, delta will be positive. So, real roots and product of the roots is negative and hence one positive, one negative root, that is the case. Now, for the same quadratic equation, if A and C are having same sign and delta positive, like 3x square plus 11x plus 1 is equal to 0. You see A and C have same sign and delta positive. In that case, definitely the roots are real and product of the roots c by a is positive and hence both the roots must be positive or both the roots can be negative. That means delta positive, so real roots. If AC have same sign, both the roots will have same sign. That is, both will be positive or both will be negative. Now, for a quadratic equation with real coefficients, if one root is real, obviously the other root must be real, because you consider this particular quadratic equation like ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, whose sum of the roots let us take up alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Since a, b are real, this is a real number. Given one root is real, so this is a real number. So, beta is going to be minus b by a minus alpha. A real number minus real number must be a real number, and hence for a quadratic equation with real coefficients, if one root is real, the other root must also be real.